All right, so this is going to cover 4.4, a couple of the problems from your homework on that section. The biggest thing here is graphing. I've had a lot of questions on how to graph or how to use these graphing tools, stuff like that. So I wanted to talk through one of these. On the video for 4.4 on Edpuzzle, on those notes, I always made a table to help me figure out what the ordered pairs are. So I'm going to jump over here, and I've made this table. My equation was y equals 4x plus 3. What I did is I chose x values to plug in. I always choose 0 and 1, unless there's a fraction involved, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I always choose 0 and 1. These are easy numbers to plug in. They're not going to make our life too complicated. So I would default to using 0 and 1 as well. All I'm doing is replacing the x with those x values and evaluating. So 4 times 0 is 0 plus 3. That's where I got this 3. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3. That's where I got this 7. And I put these all together. I took these 0, the x value, and the 3, the y value, put it in my ordered pair. Same here with the 1 and 7. One thing I will say, when we are graphing, we always are starting at 0, 0. We're not plotting the point 0, 0, but we're starting there and then going from 0, 0 over 0 units, left or right, then up 3 because it's a positive 3, and we plot that point. Then when we plot the second point, we go back to 0, 0. Since the x value is 1, we're going to go to the right one, left or right, but it's positive, so we go to the right one, and then up 7 because it's a positive 7. So use a table, use that to help you. I'm going to jump over here and plot my 2 points. So I said 0, 3. So I'm going to go to my graph, use my line tool. From 0, 0, over 0, up 3. You can see in that top right corner there, the ordered pair, 0, 3, so you know you're plotting the correct thing. I'm going to go back to 0, 0, not click the point, but now I have the point 1, 7. So I'm going to go over 1 and up 7. And again, see in that top right corner, I know it's the correct point. I can save my graph. Okay. So left or right for x, up and down for y. All right. I'm not going to go through this other graphing one, the 1/2 x minus 1. The only difference is that you still use 0 to plug in for x, but if you use 1, it's going to end up with a fraction or decimal, and MathXL will not let you graph a fraction or decimal on the graph. So I always choose 0, and then I choose the number that is the denominator. So instead of choosing 0 and 1 to plug in for x, like I did on that last problem, I would use 0 and 2 because 2 is the denominator, and then that will get you whole number values in your ordered pairs. Okay. All right, last one I want to talk about is this longer word problem. There's lots of different parts, but I want to make sure that we're able to talk through this. So looking at this, it gives you the equation A equals 13b, okay? With this, we are filling in our table. It's telling us the b value, so we're just multiplying it times 13. So I know 13 times 0 is 0. 13 times 1, 13. 13 times 2, 26. 13 times 3, 39. And 13 times 4, I might need a calculator for that, we get 52, okay? So you're filling in a table based on the equation they give you, okay? Next, we are choosing a graph. 0, 13, 26, 39, 52. These are increasing. So I know it's going to be between A and D because they are increasing. But this is where we need to think about the situation, okay? The situation is basketballs. And so the line through would tell us that we could be buying 2.5 basketballs or 4.25 basketballs. That is not the case. We can't buy fractions or decimals of basketballs. So I need to choose A over here because it's only these whole numbers of basketballs that make sense in the situation. Continuing with that, we have to talk about discrete or continuous. Again, watch the video on 4.4 if you have not heard discrete or continuous. We just talked about how whole number values have meaning. So it's going to be between C and D because they say only whole number values have meaning. And C is talking about discrete. Discrete is what means only whole number values have meaning. Continuous would be with that line through, continuing the graph the whole way. Okay. And part B, it says, suppose the coach spent $117 before tax. How many basketballs did she buy? So really I'm taking that 117, plugging it in for A. So I have 117 equals 13b. To undo the multiplication of 13 times b, I divide. So I'm going to do 117 divided by 13.